Hello, everybody, and welcome to game night for the Hoosier State Instigators. We're here in our very first preseason game, televised game, and wouldn't you know it is against the Indiana Shuckers, something becoming a little bit of a tradition here in the second year for the Instigators. I'm one of your co-hosts and co-owners of the Instigators, Frosty, here with my friend Jakey Muffins, also a co-owner of the Instigators. Jakey, how you doing?
I'm good. I am looking forward to this. We had that preseason matchup against the Shuckers last year. They got the better end of that first matchup, so a little bit of a revenge on the line for this year's game.
Yeah, absolutely. I'm really excited for this. Last year we lost by about 30 points. That was in Bedford last year, the home of the Shuckers. This year we're in the new home of the Hoosier State Instigators, Best Choice Fieldhouse. What do you think of your first view of the court?
It's pretty nice. I mean, that's definitely. We had the Clinton CRC last year. This looks a little bit newer, compared to that.
Yeah, absolutely. That's one of the things we noticed. It's a much newer court, really well taken care of. We're excited to be there for our first season. We're excited to see the Instigators wearing the familiar whites voted on as the home jersey by our Patreon subscribers. So thank you, Patreon subscribers, for making that decision. I personally like the whites as well as our home jersey, and we'll be going against the yellows of the Shuckers. So we see the two teams warming up a little bit. We're going to jump back into the game soon, but let's talk a little bit about the roster for the Hoosier State Instigators. A lot of old faces, a lot of new faces. I would say turnover was about 50-50 as we see AB there, number 7, familiar with the dunk, as well as Dylan Ware making his return to the Instigators. Two huge pieces for this team, wouldn't you say?
Absolutely. I mean, AB led the league in blocks last year. He was our first ever All-Star. And then Dylan really excelled when he transitioned more to the point role later in the season.
Yeah, absolutely. Along with them, we have Chuck Bloom returning. We have JoJo Hart returning. So some really talented guys. Mike Pugh returning as well. So the core of our team is back, plus some really exciting new additions. Anyone stand out to you in the couple of scrimmages that you've seen so far as that standout guy to watch as far as new players?
New players, I can't remember his real name, but I know in the last scrimmage we had Captain America. That guy definitely has some talent. That's a guy to keep an eye on.
Yeah, absolutely. Steven Rogers, number 20. And so he played really well, along with, we're seeing him right there, number 30, Lawrence Boyd, a new player for the Instigators. Both rookies, never played in the ABA before. We did a pop-up scrimmage a couple weeks ago that they played in, and both scored over 20 points and really played well together. As we get a look at both teams still warming up here, just a few minutes until game time. So as we said, this is our first preseason game. We may have one more. We've been doing a lot of scrimmages this year. And so, we'll see. But I'm just really excited to see the Instigators take to the court for the first time in 2024 against another ABA team now in the Shuckers, who joined the ABA after last season. What do you think of that move?
Yeah, I mean, we saw last season the Shuckers had the talent, right up there with us. So they're definitely at the level they can perform in the ABA.
Yeah, absolutely. Two players to watch out for them. Obviously, number 15, Des Stevens, who scored 41 points against us last year. Number 1 scorer on their team. Number 2 was Lawan Whitney, who signed with the Instigators later that week, in fact, and has been an Instigator ever since, and is still on the roster now, although not at this game. And then number 1, Gambles, right? Both really good players. I expect them to put up a lot of points, to play really well. As we saw, overseas experience, college experience. So both of them will be ready to light it up against us, I'm sure. It's been interesting being in practices this week. We've heard a lot of confidence from the Instigators, which you definitely want, but also a lot of those veteran guys, especially Chuck Bloom, who has been warning the team. We lost these guys by 30 last year. Just because they're an exhibition team and not yet playing a full ABA season doesn't mean that they're not ready to play. And I think that's absolutely the case, and wise advice from the captain. So like I said, we're just about ready to get started here. We're going to jump to a commercial break really quick, and then we'll go ahead and get started with the game action. So stay with us right after this, and we'll see you soon. All right, we hear the referee whistle here as we're about to get started. Last year, as we said, Chuck Bloom, the captain of the team, he's the returning captain this year, and I believe he'll be in the starting lineup tonight. But we have two additional captains this year. One, JoJo Hart, returning player from last year we talked about, and then the other one is Malcolm Martin, a new player this year, a guard for us, who's really stepped up and showed some leadership in the short time that he's been here. As the referee takes the 4-point shot here, and he makes it. So that's 4 points for the Instigators, I think, since it's on our home court. But anyway, so really excited to see those guys playing together. Really excited to see how the team's been gelling. They've been practicing twice a week, all the way since the end of the IBL Cup there in July, as the two teams huddle up now and they get ready. So because it is a preseason game, there's not going to be. It's going to be a little toned down a little bit. So we're not going to do the national anthem. We're not going to have all the music playing as normal, as these two teams are really just trying to gear up and focus on basketball. As you can see, though, we do have shot clocks that are available, 24 seconds there above the rim, so everyone will be able to see it. It looks like it's blinking on the screen. It's not in the arena, I can assure you of that. It's just a cool camera trick, apparently, with our AI camera trying to figure out what to do. The Shuckers there, led by Coach Scotty Mullet, who also runs the IBL, a really good friend of the Instigators and strong supporter, and now today taking over the head coaching duties of the Shuckers. All right, both teams are about to come out. We see the starting lineup for the Instigators. Well, we saw it for a minute. Now I need to break it down, but it looks like Jackson Stone, a huge acquisition this year. Last year played for the Lions, coming onto the court with Mike Pugh, Malcolm Martin, who we just talked about there in the number 21 jersey. And then we see Chuck Bloom and JoJo Hart as the starting lineup here for the Instigators. So interestingly, Dylan Ware and AD both on the bench. This is the first official game for our head coach, Coach Dobbs, who can be seen there on the bench getting ready to coach the guys up. And then we have a really handsome man. You can't really see him, but at the scoring table, that's me. I'm in two places at once. But let's get this game underway here. All right, and here's the tip-off. Instigators versus Shuckers, round 2. But the first game of 2024 as the Shuckers win the tip, and here we go. Three-pointer missed there. The Shuckers get their own rebound, get a second possession here. Good dish across the court. The three-point shot, no good, and Jackson comes down with the rebound. Ball hit out of Mike Pugh's hand. Looks like it's going to stay here with the Instigators as the score remains 0-0. Jackson with the first shot. He makes it a mid-range shot. He's dangerous with those. And he gets his first points of the game and the Instigators' first points of the game as it's 2-0. All right. We see the Shuckers here trying to set up an offense. This ball goes out of bounds. Looks like it's going to stay with the Shuckers. Still 0-0 here. Shot clock winding down. Quick shot there. Missed. But it's rebounded there by the Instigators. Jackson Stone wide open with Nitty. Doesn't fall this time, but you like the shot. He'll make 8 out of 10 of those every single game. So, like the mid-range shot, like the pass there, just didn't quite go in.
Yeah, that's definitely a shot that we've seen Jackson hit throughout this offseason.
Absolutely. Steven Des splits the defense. He goes for the three-point there by the Shuckers. No good. Malcolm Martin with the rebound. Jackson thinks about it again. Instead, Malcolm will shoot a three, and that goes in. Instigators up to a quick 5-0 lead here with 2 minutes into the game. Shuckers looking for an answer. There's a three-pointer. That goes in, and all of a sudden the lead cuts down to 2. Both of these teams are excellent three-pointing shooting teams. It was a really high-scoring affair last year. I think the Shuckers scored 138 points in that win. So we expect a lot of points here, but our hope, as Chuck Bloom takes a shot up, he misses, rebounds, misses again. As the Shuckers get the ball knocked out of bounds last by Mike Pugh. But we're hoping that the Instigators defense is much better this year than it was last year. I know it's been a point of concern for and emphasis for Coach Dobbs. Decent-sized crowd here for a preseason game, as you can see as our camera pans a little bit there. Quick cut right there by the Shuckers, and they tie the game up 5-5. Chuck looking inside again. Jackson Stone, like we said, with that turnaround mid-range jump shot, hits another one. Brings the Instigators lead up 7-5. And there goes Des Stevens. We told folks to watch out for him. He had 41 last game. He gets his first three and gives the Shuckers their first lead of the game, 8-7. Chuck Bloom with the three-pointer. Chuck played down the post a lot last year. We've seen him during the summer league playing a lot more freely, and we can see he's got some range. But another three by the Shuckers there. Back up by 1. Three-pointer by JoJo Hart goes in. So no surprise here. A lot of three-pointers by both teams start the game. And also no surprise, a lot of three-pointers going in the basket. Another three-pointer missed this time, though, as Malcolm Martin gets the rebound. His second of the game. Dishes it to JoJo. He'll take it back. Three-pointer. Good. And Skaters extend their lead by 2. Ball's out of bounds. Last off the Shuckers. And Skaters will get the ball. Mike Pugh with the three. No good. All kinds of Shuckers around. They get the rebound. They look to slow it down, set up an offense here, down 5. Deep three. That bangs off the rim. Mike Pugh with the rebound. He's looking to push it a little bit here. Now they'll slow it down. Finds Chuck right in the middle. JoJo Hart draws the foul. And he'll go to the line for 2. So rapid pace. Less than half the quarter gone, and already 16 points by your Instigators. And the Shuckers hanging tough by 11. And that'll take us to our first media timeout. So we'll be back with Instigators action after this.
Hey fans, it's Frosty.
Hey fans, it's Frosty,
co-owner of the Hoosier State
Hope you're enjoying the broadcast.
Hope you're enjoying the broadcast.
Just a few
I want
seconds
to take just a few seconds to let you know about our fan voter tier on our
There you can find all
There
kinds
you
of
can
cool
find
stuff
all
like
kinds of
behind-the-scenes
cool stuff
footage
like
of practices and tryouts, early access to games and podcasts, and much more. On top of that, you become an official fan voter, where you can make key decisions in running the franchise. Things such as what uniforms do we wear, who stays, who goes at the end of the season, evaluate the players and coaches, and make decisions that will impact this franchise. So this is your chance to get off the bleachers, to get into the boardroom and into the Hoosier State Instigators. Hoosier State Instigators. www.patreon.com, Apex Athletic. Hope to see you there. Hope to see you there. All right, so we're back here as we see the media timeout about to end here in just a few seconds. Rapid pace game, wouldn't you say, Jake?
Absolutely, yeah. 3-point shooting on both sides has been impressive, but we knew that going into the game. We'll have to see JoJo here at the free throw line if he keeps up his no bounce tradition.
Absolutely. That's one of 2 traditions I'm looking for the Instigators to hold up here. The other one was founded, I think, in the Summer League, where the Instigators shot extremely well from the line, which is not what they did last year. Collectively, we're about a 55% team from the free throw line last year and hovered much closer to 80% during the Summer League. So both traditions stand, Jake. No bounce and the made free throw.
Yeah.
The Skaters extend their lead to 6, largest lead of the game. JoJo hits his second. You see the players rushing down the court here. Shuckers bringing the ball up. Ball's out of bounds on the Shuckers, and the Instigators will get the turnover. Ball brought up. Malcolm Martin looking for a hole. He finds Jackson Stone, who hits another one. This is bread and butter. They're going to have to do something about Jackson Stone if they want to stay in this game. Good ball movement transition there. Good rebound by the Shuckers, and there you take the lead as we see a Shuckers player tying a shoe. He gets it done quick. Record time to tie a shoe right there. Good ball movement by the Instigators. Chuck Bloom hits the 3. And Chuck Bloom, 2 for 2 from three-point range. Malcolm gets the steal. He brings the ball up. He finds Mike Pugh in transition. Mike misses the layup. That was a tough layup, but usually something Mike Pugh makes. As we see Malcolm slips there. 3-point shot by the Shuckers, no good. Rebound by Chuck Bloom. Chuck was the second leading rebounder on the team, of course, behind Alex Brown last year. As Jackson does a little bit of a heat check there, but it doesn't go in. So if you're watching this broadcast on a Sunday night, you should know that our Patreon subscribers for $1 a month or more for our tiers can watch our games as soon as they're available, see the raw feed. So if you want to see the Instigators games, but you don't want to wait till Sunday night, join our Patreon and watch them as they happen. So you know before anyone else when the Instigators send someone to the free throw line for a free throw like we just saw. Relatively clean game so far by both teams. Only the second total foul as Malcolm Martin checks out. We see Lawrence Boyd checking in, LB, number 30. Instigators rookie this year, never played in the ABA. I think he's only about 20 years old. Looks like he's ready to go. No commitment to rebounding there, as we saw all the Shuckers back. Undoubtedly worried about the quick shot attempts of the Instigators. Good pass there to Jackson Stone, who dishes to Mike. Mike misses again. And the Shuckers bring the ball up, down 8. And that goes in for the Shuckers, and they cut the lead down. Mike Pugh bringing the ball up here. Hands off to point guard JoJo Hart. JoJo seems to be the general on the court, telling everyone where to go. See Lawrence Boyd with the 3. We know he can make those, but that one doesn't go in, and we get a fast break opportunity for the Shuckers. Deep 3, that goes in. And all of a sudden, the Instigators' lead is down to 3. 23-20 here with 5 minutes to go. Good catch there on a quick pass from Chuck Bloom. Mike seems to handle it. Mike looks for a 3-pointer. That doesn't go in. And the Shuckers again with a fast break opportunity. They slow it down, though, waiting for some help here. Pump fake that time. That doesn't go in. Lawrence turns it over, and that is a 3D opportunity. Des with the 4-point shot to put the Instigators behind by 1, I believe. There it is. So, once again, Instigators basketball in 23, we saw a lot of really good 3-point shooting. And when that happened, the Instigators were really good. But when we saw a lot of misses compiling themselves like this, that's when the Instigators started to struggle. But Chuck Bloom calms it down right as the shot clock ends there to get the Instigators the quick bucket. And that is a timeout. So we will return back to the action after this break. Looks like the teams are taking the court here out of this timeout. Fast-paced game, wouldn't you say?
Yeah, definitely high scoring so far. I think we're about on pace for what we were last year as far as offensive points.
Yeah, so last year the Instigators averaged about 127 points a game. As we see a new 5, or several new players out there. So we see Caleb there, one of our other rookies. We see Dylan Ware and AB there, all joining the game alongside LB, who's remained on the court along with JoJo Hart. Ooh, good try to save the ball there by the Shuckers, but that'll be a turnover. So a new rotation in there. It'll be interesting to see some mass changes coming out of the timeout, and I believe that was the official media timeout. So unless team calls timeout, we should just have action the rest of the way. AP with the dish to Dylan. Dylan with the mid-range doesn't quite go in, but Caleb gets the rebound. Caleb Magruder there before it gets knocked out of his hands. Caleb Young, athletic, number 98, has some hops like you wouldn't believe, along with several other of the young guns on this team, looking to make an impact. He tries a tough shot there. It doesn't quite go in through the lane. That's one of the things you got to get used to, I think, in the ABA when you first join the league, is it is much more physical than high school basketball or even some college basketball. So you got to be ready to get bumped. You got to get ready to get knocked off your lane a little bit and stay strong enough to still make the basket. As we see the Instigators setting up a play, something we didn't see a whole lot last year. As Caleb slips there, I can't tell. It looks like it was a foul on the Shuckers. So we'll see if young Caleb gets up. He does. Caleb Magruder's up, and he's going to take the ball out of bounds. 2:38 to go here, and Skaters down 1. But about with possession, about to inbound the ball, as we see substitution here by the boys in yellow. Ball right back to Caleb. Finds AB on the baseline. The ball skips through. I don't know how it got to JoJo, but it did. LB with the miss. Caleb with the rebound attempt. Enough to keep it with the Instigators. You see Dylan with the ball. Oh, AB just got caught under the basket. Wasn't able to put it away. Something that he and Dylan finished a ton during the season. Not that time as the lead extends to 3. And that's a quick timeout there by Coach Dobbs. Clearly unhappy with what she saw. So we'll hit another commercial break and we'll be back right after this. So the Shuckers come back on the court coming out of this timeout here. So clearly not the start coming out of the media timeout that Coach Dobbs wanted to see with the 5 that she had on the court. So she was forced to call a quick timeout there.
Yeah, that's a shot that AB normally hits, especially once we're in the season. So.
Yeah, a little surprised it didn't go in, but, stuff like that happens sometimes. So hopefully now they'll get things back going here with 2:10 to go. Skaters take the court now. They've inbounded the ball. JoJo Hart brings it up. Finds Lawrence. LB's been 0 for 2 so far from the field, but we expect him to warm up. Probably a little bit of pregame jitters playing in his first professional basketball game. Dylan with the missed hook shot. And Skaters can't buy a bucket right now. As the Instigators, who were up once up 9 points, now find themselves down 3. JoJo Hart playing stiff defense right here. Don't have to give any breathing room. And he does a good job of it. The ball, now the Instigators have the ball in a fast break. They lose it a little bit, but Dylan gets the rebound and puts it in. I think they tried to get a little fancy there. It didn't quite work out until it did, and they get 2 points. Shuckers get their own rebound again. A little bit of a push off there. Air ball by the Shuckers, and Instigators will get the ball with a little less than a minute to go. Down 1. Caleb Magruder brings the ball up and goes to LB. The 2 rookies playing really well together. He goes up to Dylan, who misses again. Push there. That's an offensive foul against the Shuckers, as the Instigators will look to bring the ball up. Got to wonder if it's a case for AB and Dylan, 2 guys that normally start the game, if you get a turnover like Caleb, who slips and falls. If it's just a matter of getting into the game for 2 guys that are used to starting instead of coming off the bench. But in the preseason, you got to experiment a little bit and see what you have. .37 seconds to go as the Shuckers bring the ball up the court. Shoot it. That's no good. Caleb Magruder gets the ball stolen. That'll be a 3D rule. Looks like it went in. And the Instigators should be down 4 now, and they are down 4 as we see some press from the Shuckers. So you can tell the Shuckers are starting to feel the momentum going their way. AB gets fouled with 10 seconds to go. You can feel the Shuckers have some momentum going their way. Looks like they're upping the pressure to make sure that they expose that momentum and try to further it. First shot by AB, off the mark. Instigators still down 4. AB with the second shot here. He puts it in. Instigators cut the lead down to 3 with 10 seconds to go. Shuckers trying to set something up here. Plenty of time to do it. See the trap there. 3-point shot, no good. Dylan gets the shot off late. That'll be the end of the first quarter. Your Instigators down 31-28. We'll be back right after this.
Hey fans, it's Frosty, co-owner of the Hoosier State Instigators. Hope you're enjoying the broadcast. I want to take just a few seconds to let you know about our fan voter tier on Patreon. There you can find all kinds of behind-the-scenes footage of practices and tryouts, early access to games and podcasts, and much more. On top of that, you become an official fan voter of the Instigators, where you can make key decisions in running the franchise. Things such as what uniforms do we wear, who stays, who goes at the end of the season, evaluate the players and coaches, and make decisions that will impact this franchise for a long time. So this is your chance to get off the bleachers and into the boardroom the Hoosier State Instigators at www.patreon.com/Apex Athletic Collective. Hope to see you there.
Well, Jake, what are your takeaways from that first quarter there?
Hot start for both teams with the 3-point shooting. Instigators got themselves out front, but then the Shuckers had a nice close to the first quarter. I think we've seen in the preseason, though, that Coach Dobbs has made some pretty good adjustments, so we'll have to keep an eye on that in the second quarter here.
Yeah, absolutely. It looks like Chuck Bloom led our scorers with 8 points there in the first quarter. Jackson with 6, Malcolm with 6, and JoJo with 3. So pretty good job spreading the ball around by the Instigators on offense. 28 points in the first quarter is really good offensively. You'd like to see them hold a team to less than 30 points in a quarter, but some really good stretches there, just as you said, kind of fell apart at the end. And so, again, we saw Instigators, when they're making threes, one of the best teams in the league on both sides of the ball. When they're missing threes, however, the game can quickly get out of hand. So let's get back to the action here as the second quarter is about to start. And I believe it will be Instigators ball to start us off. All right, we have the inbound here. All right, so we got a couple of new guys in, as we can see, actually just one. JoJo Hart comes out replaced by Rico Spikes, who has, I will say, the coolest name on the team. He played for us a lot in the summer league. Didn't play in that scrimmage a couple weeks ago that our Patreon fans saw, but has plenty of experience both internationally and at the college levels. He takes a foul there. Instigators will bring the ball out, bring the ball in. Rico looking for the ball instead. A low pass to AB. He juggles it, but he gets it to Rico. Takes a screen from Dylan. Goes right back to him. Dylan attacking the hoop. He makes the bucket. I believe that's Dylan's, second bucket of the night. He's got 4 points. Good dribbling there by number 32 of the Shuckers. He puts the ball in. It's Jamison there. Rico spikes with a 3. We saw him hit a ton of those in the summer league. That one doesn't go, however. And the Shuckers bring the ball up. Fall into a trap. Caleb Magruder with the steal just about happens, but instead the ball's out of bounds and goes back to the Shuckers. Jamison once again with some great handles. As well as teammate misses the shot there. LB throws the ball out of bounds. Throws it behind a cutting Dylan Ware. And the Instigators turn it over. So we've seen a little bit of up and down from Lawrence Boyd so far. Really good defense. Offensive side seems like he's just a little out of touch, a little nervous. As we get the block there from Dylan Ware. LB takes the ball up. Tough one. He misses, but Dylan cleans it up on the other end. Dylan now up to 6 points, or 8 points here. 6 of which in this quarter already. Another missed shot. The Instigators look like they're starting to pick up momentum here. LB with the miss, and the ball gets stuck. Don't see that every day.
Yeah, definitely a rare occasion.
But the Shuckers get the ball because of possession. They'll bring it up. Man, that's tough offense against the best blocker in the ABA. I don't think anyone else was within 40 blocks of AB last year in the entire country. LB takes it to the hoop. He puts it in. There he goes. A little bit of offensive scoring from LB. Hopefully that's a sign of things to come. 3-point shot, no good. And the Instigators rebound the ball, and they look to push again. LB leading the way. He stops with a mid-range, misses, but gets his own rebound before the ball's stolen away. And the Shuckers look to fast break on the other end. And they make the 3. This game's all tied up. 36-36. 3 minutes gone. Caleb with the missed shot. And that's a 3-point foul there by Rico Spikes, number 3. As Des Stevens will go to the line for 3 shots. It's like AB's coming out. Not sure who's taking a spot. We'll see. Looks like it's going to be Captain America Steve Rogers coming into the game. For Alex Brown, another rookie. I'm sorry. So it'll actually be Chuck Bloom as well. Steve Rogers coming in for Caleb. So Steve Rogers looking to get his first action of the young preseason. A guy that can attack the rim, but also shoot from all over the court and play really good defense as well. He's a great all-around player with a lot of upside. So Des makes 1 of 3. The Instigators avoid giving up 3 points on a free throw. On free throws there as Lawrence Boyd takes the shot. He misses. Saves it, though, to Steve Rogers, who takes the 3. And he hits it. Puts the Instigators up 2. It's going to be really interesting to see as the Shuckers have one go in and out. Ball stays with them. It's going to be interesting to see how these young players evolve through the season, but even more so throughout this game. As we're seeing LB with a much better second quarter than he had the first quarter already. Steve Rogers hits his first 3 as the Shuckers turn the ball right over. We get a substitute for the Shuckers here. Wide open shot from Steve. He misses that one, but a rebound by Chuck Bloom. He takes it up, gets the foul, and he'll go to the line for 2 shots. Instigators look like a much better team than they did at the end of that first quarter, I'll tell you. Will misses the first free throw. And he hits the second, going 1 of 2. Extends the lead to 3 for the Instigators. Instigators once held the largest lead of the game, 9 points, but the Shuckers have since brought the game right back. Lawrence Boyd tries to make a spectacular play, but instead turns the ball over. This is a 3D. That goes in. That should be 4 points. It is. Just off on the alley-oop there. And a miss by Chuck. A little bit of chaotic play here. Another miss by the Shuckers, and the Instigators look to push the ball. Rico throws the ball out of bounds. That's another turnover by your Instigators. LB comes out of the game, and Malcolm Martin comes in for him. Looks like we got a timeout here, so we will return after a quick commercial break. And we're back here in the first preseason game for your Hoosier State Instigators, taking on the ABA's Indiana Shuckers. Down 1, 40-41, as they gear up for their first regular season game, which will be right here at Best Choice Fieldhouse against the Louisville Pros on October 26th at 7:30 p.m. Shuckers bring the ball up here. Looking for a shot. Spin. Missed. But the Shuckers get it right back. And they draw the foul. So we got Jackson Stone in the game now for the Hoosier State Instigators. Jackson had a great first quarter, going 3 for 4 from the floor with 6 points. And looking to continue on that, I'm sure, here in the second quarter. I really enjoy these preseason games where we get to see new players, get to see new rotations. You know, generally more guys get more minutes during the preseason, so we can kind of see what they do. I'm really excited to see how this one ends, but it's been exciting so far. Both teams shooting the lights out of the ball for the most part. Second shot's missed there by the Shuckers. Steve Rogers saves the ball from going out of bounds and gets it out quick. Malcolm Martin looks to push the issue. He gets it to Jackson. What a find. Jackson gets the basket. Three-pointer missed. All the Instigators tried to rebound it, but Chuck Bloom's the one that actually gets it. He brings the ball up. Instigators started to push the issue a little bit. Feeling confident with Jackson Stone back in the game. That's 4 quick points for Jackson in less than a minute. Three-pointer here by the Shuckers. Wide open. And that goes in for number 22 of the Shuckers. Perry makes his first shot of the game, I believe. Chuck Bloom misses. Steve Rogers comes in, flies in like the superhero he is, Captain America. But it doesn't go in. Although that's not really a jump ball here. Not a really good analogy, Jake. That wasn't my best one considering we both know Captain America can't fly.
Yeah.
Inbounded by the Instigators here. That ball goes out of bounds to the Shuckers. They bring the ball up. Steal there. I think Jackson Stone's the one who poked it away, but Malcolm came up with it. He gets fouled. A few more fouls here in this quarter. Looks like they're going to do some floor maintenance here. Make sure the playing surface is fair and clean for all players and safe.
Yeah, a few more fouls and a little bit more chaotic as far as the teams pushing the ball down court, throwing up some shots really fast.
Yeah, a little less structured offense and a little more run and gun. Steve Rogers takes it out. He dishes it. We are seeing the Instigators move the ball around a lot more, though, than they did last year, so that's a positive sign. Tried to take the charge there. No call. Steve Rogers gets the rebound in the outlet. He tries to go to Chuck Bloom, just a little bit behind him. Looks like the ball's staying with the Instigators. Malcolm Martin hit a couple threes in the first. He gets one there. That brings him to 9 points. The Instigators up by 2 with that shot. Nice shot there by the Shuckers, who seem to be dealing with the same thing that the Instigators were at the end of the first quarter. Just can't quite get the bucket to go right now. Good defense by Chuck Bloom. He gets the steal. Malcolm comes up with it, looking for an outlet. He gets it to Steve Rogers, who gets fouled. And he took one where you don't want to take one, if you know what I mean, fellas. And he's down. Let's hope young Steve Rogers is okay. Both teams have been sent to the bench. We're going to take a commercial break here. And we'll be right back after this. All right, and Steve Rogers is up, and it looks like he's going to stay in the game. Coach Dobbs out there checking on him. Luckily, the young man's okay. Hopefully just got the wind knocked out of him there. And he'll go to the free throw line here for 2 shots. Sorry, for 3 shots. That was a 3-point, or that was a 3D rule. So he's actually at the line for 3 shots here, with a chance to put the Instigators up 5. Once again, though, a high-scoring half, 47 points with 5 minutes to go. This is ABA action, folks. Oh no, that's a. Unfortunately, that'll be a lane violation. So Steve Rogers will only get 2 free throws now after that ball skirts away from him. Rarely see that there. Undoubtedly, he's still thinking about that injury. But he makes the first of 2 now. Puts the Instigators up 3. There's the second shot. It goes in as well. Looks like Captain America is going to be okay, folks. We continue this game. Instigators now up 4. Quick 3-pointer by the Shuckers. Pull within 1. They missed it. And Rico Spikes brings the ball up. Goes to Jackson, who thought about a 3. Instead, they pass the ball around. Good ball movement by the Instigators. Back to the hot hand. Jackson, who gets it blocked, but catches it and puts the bucket in. Jackson Stone has been hot today. Way to get the hand on the ball. Rico, that goes in anyway. Rico thought about the 3. Instead, he hits Jackson coming through the lane. Jackson takes a shot. A rare miss for Mr. Stone. You get a forearm shove a little bit there by Jeff Stevens. That'll be an offensive turnover. We get a timeout here. So once again, we'll go to a commercial break, and we'll be right back after this. All right, we're back here at the media time from the media timeout. Instigators up 4, coming back from down 4, I believe. They're down 3 at the end of the first quarter, so fairly evenly played quarter, but the Instigators are leading now. As we look at the last 4 minutes of this quarter, already 51-47. We knew it was going to be a high-scoring affair, folks, and it is. That's just ABA action, frankly. The ABA's rules, we've seen the commercial, are really about building a high-flying, high-scoring game, and those rules are really effective at doing that, and that's why we see the score the way it is. It's also because both these teams can shoot the lights out of the ball, as we've seen so far in this game. They've gone through a rough stretch every now and then, but for the most part, both teams are kind of having their way offensively. That's break here by the Shuckers after the steal. That's a foul. The Shuckers will go to the line for 2. Number 21, Grubb, to the line. He's got 4 points so far in this game. Looking to add to that total. He makes the first one. And pull it in 4. He cans the second one to make it a 1-possession game. Instigators look to move the ball up and forth quickly. We've seen that a lot more from them this year, or this game, than we did last year. Last year, the team was slow and methodical on outbound, bringing the ball in at times. We haven't seen that so far. It looks like they're trying to get to the front court pretty quick as they foul there. No shot, obviously, so the Shuckers will just take the ball out of bounds. That's the 5th team foul sixth team foul for each team. 8th team foul is automatic 2 free throws. So we're getting close to that. Gators pressuring the ball pretty high there. We saw Rico. He's got good hands. He can steal it if he gets an opportunity. So you can't wait. Pump fake. Chuck leaves his feet but recovers well. Tough shot there. Missed, but the Shuckers with the rebound. I can't tell if that was a block or a pass, but either way, it didn't work out for the Shuckers, and the Instigators have the ball going the other way. Up only 2 now. Looks like Jackson slipped there. He's back up doing okay. Malcolm misses, but Jackson gets the rebound. He puts it up and off the glass, and that's another basket for Jackson Stone. As we get a substitution here on the court. As you all may have noticed, Joe Bird isn't here with us for this game. Joe's day job, he works on electrical lines, and he's down helping where all the storms hit in the southeastern part of the United States. So wishing Joe and obviously anyone affected by the storms the best of luck, and hope to have Joe back soon and electricity all over the southeast part of the country here soon. Shuckers make a bucket there. They cut the lead down to 2 points once again. So again, a really evenly played quarter by both teams as we see Mike Hughes checked in. He hits Jackson. Jackson misses that one, but can't blame him for taking the shot, frankly. Chuck Boone protesting, but that ball was clearly off him. .210 to go here. Shuckers kick the ball out of bounds. As we see Robert Mitchell making his Instigators debut. He's coming in for Rico Spikes. So number 14 right here. Another rookie here for the Instigators playing his first professional basketball game with the Instigators. Turnover by Malcolm. Malcolm gets the ball right back. That's a 3D. He passes it to Mike Pugh, who forces the issue. It doesn't go in. There's a scramble for the ball. Unfortunately, the Shuckers come up with it and miss, but then get their own rebound and make it there. And the game is tied here with 1:30 to go. Missed opportunity there for the Instigators with the 3D to get an extra point out of that. Jack Stone fouled and going to the line. When you get those 3D rule opportunities, you got to take advantage of them. And unfortunately, we weren't able to do it that time. Jackson hits his first free throw. Jackson with the no-bounce free throws. I think he's been watching JoJo Hart shoot free throws. He's taking a cue. And they both went in, so that might be the way to go from now on. Mike saves it and gets it to Chuck. What a save by Mike Pugh. Chuck dribbles around the arc, but he misses the 3. What a save by Mike Pugh. That was an athletic play. Robert Mitchell with the rebound. He's going to bring the ball up. He's going to force the issue. No, he's going to go to find Jackson Stone. Nice find by Robert. His first assist of the game. And Jackson Stone continues the hot hand. And Skaters now up 4 with 30 seconds to go. That's a travel. And it's called. Turnover, and Skaters will get the last possession of the game if they play the ball smart here. They slow it down. Find Chuck Bloom. 12 seconds. Jackson with the turnaround, in and out. Mike Pugh, though, with the rebound. Looking to give the Instigators a second opportunity. He gets fouled with 2.5 seconds to go. Really good effort in the last couple possessions by Mike Pugh. Mike takes first free throw. That's off the back rim there. The Skaters still with a 4-point lead. And Mike Pugh misses both free throws. 1 second to go. Shuckers won't take the shot as we'll go to halftime. Instigators up 57-53. We'll be right back after this.
Hey fans, it's Frosty, co-owner of the Hoosier State Instigators. Hope you're enjoying the broadcast. I want to take just a few seconds to let you know about our fan voter tier on Patreon. There you can find all kinds of cool stuff like behind-the-scenes footage of practices and tryouts, early access to games and podcasts, and much more. On top of that, you become an official fan of the Hoosier State Instigators, where you can make key decisions in running the franchise. Things such as what uniforms do we wear, who stays, who goes at the end of the season, evaluate the players and coaches, and make decisions that will impact this franchise for a long time. So this is your chance to get off the bleachers and into the Hoosier State Instigators. www.patreon.com/Apex Athletic Collective. Hope to see you there.
All right, so we've reached halftime here. Hoosier State Instigators up by 4, 57-53. Jake, what's your take on the first half of Instigators basketball here in 2024?
A lot of offense for both teams. We expected that going in, but we did see a nice adjustment in that second quarter from Coach Dobbs and the Instigators. Hopefully they can continue that into the second half and build upon that 4-point lead.
Yeah, absolutely. You know, the way it was going, they gave up 31 points in the first quarter, but only 22 points in the second quarter. So we saw better defensive effort. We saw the shots not fall quite as often for the Shuckers. So that's hopefully a sign of things to come. We definitely expect at least. But, for me, player of the half has to be Jackson Stone. 18 points in the first half, on pace for a heck of a game. What do you make of his debut?
Yeah, Jackson was a big acquisition. He's been with the Lions for the past few years, and we saw him, hit those mid-range shots all throughout the summer league, and he's continuing to do so.
Yeah, absolutely. And then we saw, obviously our rookies playing. Lawrence Boyd, I thought, got off to a little bit of a slow start offensively, although he played really well defensively, but picked that up in the second quarter as well. Steve Rogers came in and played really well. We saw an assist by Robert Mitchell. So the young guns getting in there and getting some action early on as well. You got to love to see that.
Yeah, I definitely think more time on the court for them. They're gonna, build on to that, be a little bit more comfortable, and build on that game.
Yeah, absolutely. So we'll get the second half going here in just a few minutes, but as we see the Shuckers going on to take some shots here, make sure you scout them well if you're watching. What are your keys to the second half, Jake?
Continuing that defense from the second quarter, and I think not forcing shots. We haven't really seen that too much in this game, but that is one of the tendencies we've seen in the past with the Instigators, is kind of just forcing up shots.
Yeah, I think that's right. We saw that a little bit there at the end of the first quarter. A lot of three-point shots that were taken early in the shot clock. It felt like we settled a little bit. Much better in the second quarter. Got to continue that ball movement. Got to continue to play shutdown defense. I saw a little bit mixture of zone, a little bit mixture of man. I think we got to keep mixing those up to throw the Shuckers off guard. I thought in the second quarter they did a really good job against Des Stevens. Didn't let him get off like he did in the first quarter. So hopefully that stays as well. But I'm excited to see some of the guys we haven't seen yet. So Lance Hopkins hasn't played yet. Kevin Stunnaboy Cameron hasn't played yet. So I'd like to see both those guys play. We only saw Robert for a minute or two there, so I'd like to see some of those guys get worked into the lineup as well. But I thought overall, a lot of those rotations had different looks. The team looks deeper, and we're able to do a lot more, with more players. Last year, it felt like we had 7 or 8 guys that kind of carried the load the entire game. This game, you look at it, Alex Brown has 1 point in this game. And Dylan has 6 points, and the Instigators are up by 4. That's not something we would have seen last year. but we are seeing it this game so far because there's so many other guys that contribute. We saw Chuck, who scored 8 points. We had Jackson, who scored 18, obviously. Malcolm scored 9. So those guys really carrying the way. JoJo had 5 as well. So you saw those guys carrying the way. Oh, Mike Pugh hasn't scored any points yet. So we expect those guys to get going. But it's nice to see that the Instigators have the depth this year to still be leading against a really quality team, even while they're waiting on some of those veterans to get fired up. So I'm really excited to see what we do in the second half. Excited to see those other guys.
Yeah, and as you mentioned, with the extra depth we have this year, one of the guys that we had last year, our team captain, Chuck Bloom, we got to see him play more of his natural position instead of him kind of being forced down low for the whole game.
Yeah, it's really interesting. We talked to him. I talked to him a lot in the offseason. He said, "Hey, I'm a decent 3-point shooter. I got some range." And so I didn't believe him, to be honest, because I hadn't seen it. But he was getting beat up so much playing down low in the post and being forced into a position that he could do well, but was not his natural position. So to your point, seeing a much more naturally flowing Chuck Bloom, who's handling the ball above the 3-point line, helping facilitate as well, I think is really underrated for us. And so I was excited to see that as well. What do you think we need to accomplish here in the second half to start to get ready for the pros coming up on the 26th?
I think one of the things we need to clean up a little bit is finishing at the rim. We've had a couple of, layups and dunk opportunities that once it comes to the regular season, we've got to get that cleaned up. And then just building upon that defense, if we can continue what we did in the second quarter there, I think we're definitely going to be set up for success.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, we see the two teams getting ready to warm up. So we're going to take another commercial break before this action gets started. And then when we return, we'll be back for a third quarter action here with your Hoosier State Instigators. All right, we see the two teams warming up here, just getting ready to go as we begin the third quarter of action. Like we said, really excited to see what we do this half, but really happy with what we saw overall from the Instigators there. You see guys taking some 3-point shots on both ends of the court. Don't forget, fans, if you want to watch the Instigators live, our home game is on October 26th at 7:30 p.m. against the Louisville Pros here at Best Choice Fieldhouse. Tickets are only $10 for adults, $5 for kids. Or you can get season tickets now, $90 for season tickets. That's for 10 home games. So it's basically getting a game free if you sign up for our season tickets. And then you can see the Instigators live. What's great about Best Choice Fieldhouse is that every seat, as you can see there, is a front court seat. Everybody's got floor seats for affordable price. It's family-friendly fun. Lots of kids in the crowd tonight as well. So make sure you get your way down to Best Choice Fieldhouse and support your Hoosier State Instigators in person. Jake, one of the things I like about the Instigators in person, to be honest with you, is the in-game exclusive merch. I don't know if you've noticed, but the hoodie I'm wearing as a Hoosier State Instigators hoodie, can only get it. They were actually made by Mike Pugh. You can only get it at Hoosier State Instigators. So there's game exclusive merch, a chance to meet all the players and get autographs. And like we said, every seat is a front court seat. So it's a great environment. You've been to some Instigators games. Tell me something that's more exciting for $10 a night.
It's hard to beat. I mean, that's definitely, a great deal. And I'm actually, looking forward to being out there in person for some of these games for this season as well.
Yeah, absolutely. Although it's a little bit further away for you now, probably by about an hour since we relocated to Fishers. But so happy to be in Fishers, Indiana, our new home. Been a great community. Love our sponsors, as you've seen them scroll across both in our, in the top right corner of your screen, as well as in our commercials. Love our sponsors. Can't wait to do more work with them as well. But we're off now here. Third quarter starting for the Instigators. They have the ball. Lance Hopkins is in. He misses the three there, but it's good to see Lance in the game. Excited to see what he can do. He played really well in the Summer League. You see the Shuckers here looking for set up their offense. Three-pointer here. That goes in. Tough shot for number 1. Gambles. He hits that bucket. He's got 14 points. That's 16 points now. He had 14 points in the first half. One of our players to watch. Malcolm Martin hits his, though. Man, Malcolm, we didn't have him as a player to watch for us, but we should have. He's been firing on all cylinders in this game, offensively and defensively, scoring a ton of points. Just as we said, he gets the steal there. He takes it to the rim, and he draws the foul. So Malcolm picking right back up where he left off in the first half. Scoring points, getting steals, getting rebounds, just hustling hard all the way through. So going to take his 2 shots here. He misses the first one. A little uneven shooting the free throws, wouldn't you say, Jake, so far?
Yeah, definitely not quite as well as we saw in the Gold Cup, but we're maybe a little bit better than last season.
Yeah, by my count, we're 9 of 14 now from free throw range. Which isn't terrible, but could be a lot better. See Gambles here with the jab steps, working on Lawrence Boyd, the rookie. He gets a little bit of help from JoJo. Makes it tough, but he gets the rebound, puts it back in. He gets another bucket. And Skaters bring the ball up. Shoot it. LB with the three-pointer. The crowd goes wild for that, seeing LB hit his first three-pointer of this half. Really started to pick it up in the second quarter and starts off strong in the third quarter, and has been playing really good defense as well. Good ball rotation there by the Shuckers playing against the zone defense. Another miss. Shuckers get the rebound. They miss again, and Mike Pugh gets the rebound to bring the ball up the court. Hits Lawrence Boyd. He starts running back before it even goes in the hoop with confidence as he puts his team up 9 here early. Just a little over 2 minutes gone in the third quarter. Foul there by Mike Pugh. Sends Gambles to the line. 2 more free throws. No, sorry, they called it not in the shooting motion, so he'll take it out of bounds. No, he will go to the free throw line. Okay. I was right. That's what I heard. Gambles gets ready to shoot this. He shoots the first one. That goes out. Instigators still up 9. He hits the second one, though. Cut the lead down to 8. JoJo Hart, point guard returning from last year, brings the ball up. He hits it. Lance Hopkins, who makes a good pass to the hot hand. Lawrence Boyd tries to get a pass there to Mike Pugh. Good thought, but unfortunately it gets stolen. That lane was really clogged there. See Des Stevens with the 3. It doesn't go in. Malcolm bringing the ball up. Now he slows it down. Hits JoJo in stride. JoJo hits Mike Pugh. Looks to make a couple guys miss. Splits the double team and then gets fouled. Inbound here by the Instigators. Inbounded by Lance. Lance with a nice pass to Mike. Missed by LB. Says that's on him as the Shuckers get the ball back. So again, no Dylan Ware, no Alex Brown on the court. Instigators seem to be extending their lead. Lance Hopkins on the defense there. Shot is off at the buzzer. So unlike the Summer League, the buzzers here are our buzzers. So if you hear a buzzer, that's why. Man, Mike Pugh with a nice step through and bucket. And then Lawrence Boyd with the steal, and he gets tripped and fouled. That's a 3D rule. Getting a little help up from the Shuckers. And Skaters here with 3D. Shot by JoJo Hart. That's off, but Lance with the rebound. He goes to Malcolm Martin. Always a good choice as Malcolm hits the three-point shot there. Puts the Instigators up 14 now. So the Instigators came up firing. Looks like the Shuckers missed there. Sorry about the camera. Lance Hopkins misses, but LB there for the cleanup. Man, LB is having a great third quarter. Good defense there by Lance Hopkins, denies the basket. Then the quick outlet pass by JoJo, and Malcolm Martin puts it in. And we get a media timeout here. We'll be right back after this. Your Instigators up 77-59 here in the third quarter. Hey fans, it's Frosty, Frosty, Hoosier State Instigators. Hope you're enjoying the broadcast. I want to take just a few seconds to let you know about our fan voter tier on Patreon. There you can find all kinds of cool stuff like behind-the-scenes footage and practices and tryouts, early access to games and podcasts, and much more. On top of that, you become an official fan voter of Hoosier State Instigators, where you can make key decisions in running the franchise. Things such as what uniforms do we wear, who stays, who goes at the end of the season, evaluate the players and coaches, and make decisions that will impact this franchise for a long time. So this is your chance to get off the bleachers and into the with us, the Hoosier State Instigators. www.patreon.com/ApexAthletic. Hope to see you there. All right, we're back here to the third quarter. Quick start, Jake, by the Instigators here in the third.
Yeah, and some nice work by some new guys on the team, LB and Malcolm Martin especially, to start off that third quarter.
Yeah, absolutely. Both those guys playing well, both offensively and defensively, getting turnovers, getting rebounds, and then finishing baskets. We saw there, too, Lance Hopkins gets his first assist, had several rebounds. So new guys all over the court really stepping up and doing their thing. And that forced, obviously, Scotty Mullet to call timeout, but it's also a media timeout. So here we go. He'll get that timeout back. In the ABA, you only get 3 timeouts per half, unlike the NBA. Or NCAA. You get 2 fulls and a 30-second timeout. So you got to be really cautious of those. I can tell you, as a former ABA coach, it's tricky to manage those timeouts when you have so few each half. But again, the ABA wants quick play like this, and they get it. And it's exciting. It's exciting for the fans, but that means you got to really trust the players on the court to deal with the momentum swings when you don't get timeouts when you'd expect to. Good shot there by Stevens. It doesn't go in. Rebounded, however, by the Shuckers. I'm sorry, that was Gambles on the rebound. And we get, looks like, another timeout here quickly. So Coach Dobbs felt the momentum slipping away just a little bit and tries to get it back. So with that, we'll take a commercial break as well. We'll see you soon. both teams still coming out of timeout here, huddled up. That was a quick timeout, don't you think, by Coach Doms there?
Yeah, pretty quick after we just had the break right there. But obviously she wanted to make some adjustments, and we had a big lead here in the third, but Shuckers got a couple of scores right there.
Yeah, absolutely. So clearly, this is the second time we've seen the kind of that quick timeout out of a media break. Coach Doms just, again, not letting the game get out of hand, letting folks kind of figure it out, and then calling timeout to help them get back on the same page. But that ball's out by JoJo Hart last touch. And the Instigators looks like they're going for a full court press. Didn't work very well there. As the quick pass leads to 2 easy points there. So not sure what happened on the back end, but easy bucket for the Shuckers. Mike Pugh with the 3. He hits it. All of a sudden, the Instigators are up 16. 3D opportunity here. Lawrence Boyd with the steal. That goes in. That's 3 points. Another full court pass. This time it's stolen for another 3D opportunity for the Instigators. You got to imagine this is exactly what they wanted the press to look like. Ooh, nearly a 4-point shot by Lawrence Boyd. That's why the press is so important in the ABA, folks. You see those quick 3D rules. When you make those, it's almost like having an extra possession. Another miss by the Shuckers. Rebounded by Lawrence Boyd again, who's been all over the court in this third quarter. He hits Malcolm Martin. He buries the 3. And Instigators all of a sudden up 23 points in this game. Boy, did that change momentum quickly. It looks like that timeout was the right call, don't you think?
Absolutely. That momentum swing is huge after that timeout.
Yeah. Missed 3-pointer by Mike Pugh, but that's a steal there by JoJo. Mike Pugh with the shot. He gets fouled. He'll go to the line. Huge momentum swing there. Great timeout by Coach Dobbs. And now the Instigators look to capitalize and extend their lead even more. Pugh shoots his first free throw, and he knocks that one down. Mike, who went 0 for 2 in the first half on the free throw line, hits his first one here in the third quarter. If he makes this, he'll extend the Instigators' lead to 25. And he does. So a game in which the Instigators were up 4 points to start the quarter, and a little over 6 minutes, the Instigators balloon that lead an additional 21 points. And you get a steal there by Lawrence Boyd. LB, once again, the rookie standing out here in the third quarter. He gets the pass from JoJo Hart, and he makes the basket. A steal there from Lance. That's another 3D rule. Miss. A lot more turnovers. This press is really causing chaos here for the Shuckers, who I don't think we're expecting it coming out of that timeout. Mike Pugh with the steal, looking to push the issue. He gets it out to Malcolm Martin. Almost hits the 3. Instead, it's rebounded by the Shuckers. Throw the ball up for an easy bucket here. Nice behind-the-back pass. Number 32, Jamison, with the pass there and the assist. JoJo Hart looks to slow it down here. We see Dylan Ware looks like he's getting ready to get in the game over there on the bench. Shot by JoJo Hart doesn't go. Mike with the tip goes right to JoJo, then turns it over. I think he was looking for Lance to cut there. Another easy bucket and breakaway for the Shuckers. They bring it back down to 23. LB looking for an option here. He goes to JoJo Hart with 8 seconds to go on the shot clock. That doesn't go in, but good little play by those two to get JoJo open in stride for the 3-point attempt. Air ball by the Shuckers. Just feels like nothing's going right here for the Shuckers in the third quarter. And Gators will take the ball out of bounds here and get some substitutes by the Shuckers. Oh, and it looks like we're in a media timeout. So we'll be right back after these commercials. All right, we're back here at Best Choice Fieldhouse, the new home of the Hoosier State Instigators, as they ballooned their lead up here in the third quarter by 23 points here in their first preseason game, gearing up for the 24-25 season here in the ABA. I think this league caught us both by surprise here, as the Instigators played a really tough and competitive first half, but have seemed to really step on the pedal here in the second half. We see both teams ending their huddles here, getting ready to take it to the court. Should be Instigators ball here, going from right to left on your screen. So Dylan Ware gets into the game along with Rico Spikes. They're the two new entrants. LB and Lance are still on the court, along with Malcolm Martin, who's had a heck of a debut for the Instigators. One thing to watch out for, we haven't seen it yet, as LB hits another bucket, hits a floater through the lane. But I've been told, Jake, that Dylan Ware has been in the gym every day for the last several months working on his jump shot. So if that's something that he can develop, this league is in a lot of trouble in 2024. Three-pointer by the Shuckers, and they make that shot. Cuts the lead down to 22. Malcolm thinks about the three, instead passes it to Lawrence. Dylan with the pass. Lance can't quite hold on to it. The Shuckers take a quick three. They're going to need to do a lot of that to get back in this game here with 2 minutes to go. Dylan goes for the dunk. Oh, the ball gets knocked out of his hand there. Good play by the Shuckers defense to stop Dylan from just slamming the ball down, and they hit with a three on their end. We've seen Dylan posterize a guy or two like that, so really great defense to stand in there and not allow the bucket. Malcolm Martin open here. He's going to drive the baseline. He finds Rico, passes it around to LB. LB drives through for another floater. He airballs this one. Tries to get it, but unfortunately that'll go out of bounds to the Shuckers. 19-point lead, and we see Caleb Magruder step back in here. He takes Lance Hopkins' spot as we get another timeout. So with this, you know what that means. Timeout means commercial, so we'll be back right after this. Well, we got a minute here. I want to take a second just to shout out one of our reserve players. As we talked about in the podcast a couple weeks ago, Jake, we have a couple reserve players on the team trying to work their way on. Caleb Magruder actually used to be a reserve player for us before he just signed a couple weeks ago with the squad to be a full-time player. We want to thank Reese Weber, one of our reserve players, who's actually working the scoreboard during this game. So thank you, Reese. We appreciate your efforts on and off the court. And hopefully one day we'll see Reese on the court with the Instigators during a game. Instigators break it up here. Coach Dobbs giving some words of wisdom. Shuckers will take the ball out at half court. Number 15 looking for an opening. He finds Gambles. Gambles gets fouled. Basket will not count. Shuckers will take the ball out of bounds. This isn't the NBA, so you don't get to take 100 steps after you get fouled. And it counted as a shot. That's obviously what I meant. As they look to set it back up here, do the Shuckers. Good pass, and that goes in. Tough shot. Number 15, Dez, makes the shot. Dylan, nice pass there, floating through the baseline. Dylan runs the baseline and dishes better than anyone I've seen. He misses there, airballs it, but Caleb's there to pick it up, makes the shot. You see kind of a half press here by the Instigators. That shot's off the mark. Caleb brings it up, finds LB in stride. LB hits another three. What a quarter by Lawrence Boyd. Up and under doesn't go, and Rico Spikes, who's entered the game, gets the rebound. He hits LB again. LB misses the three, but gets his own rebound. Where the ball spills out to Caleb Magruder. He passes to Rico Spikes with the pass to Caleb. Finds Lawrence Boyd open again. Why not keep shooting until your arm falls off, as I heard one time on television. Caleb misses. The Instigators have hit several threes now that haven't gone in, so we'll see if they look to mix up the strategy a little bit. $12 seconds to go here in the third quarter. The Instigators are up 98-76. Scored a ton of points here in this quarter, but it's the Shuckers here with the free throws. And the second one is missed as the Instigators look to bring the ball up and get the last shot of the quarter. Missed shot there by Malcolm Martin. 2 seconds to go. And the ref gives them the bucket. So buzzer beater by the Shuckers to pull within 19. Scores 98-79 at the end of the third quarter. Will return for the fourth quarter and final quarter of action after this. Fourth quarter just about to get underway here at Best Choice Fieldhouse, home of the Hoosier State Instigators here in Fishers, Indiana. as they're taking on the Indiana Shuckers from Bedford, Indiana. A team born out of the IBL, the summer league that we played in during this past season to warm up. So 2 ABA teams going at it for the first time this season. We see ABA competition for the Instigators, and they're firing on all cylinders, up 19 here as the quarter begins. Good defense there by Rico Spikes. That ball's out of bounds, stays with the Shuckers. We see Robert Mitchell checked back in along with JoJo Hart to start this quarter here for the Instigators. So we're seeing a good rotation of players, Jake, throughout this game.
Yeah, absolutely. And I think that's one of the benefits of having these preseason games as we get to, kind of fine tune the roster, see what kind of rotations we can use, and get everybody some playing time.
Yeah, absolutely. And we have a final tryout for the Instigators coming up on October 15th. Head to our website for more information, apexsports.com. But also gives us an opportunity to see what holes that we still have yet to become a more rounded team as we prepare for the season. Robert Mitchell there with the rebound, and JoJo Hart brings it up. He finds Dylan, who gets the ball swiped. And they call it out of bounds on the Shuckers. Dylan clearly doesn't agree. But the ref's word is final. 3-pointer here by the Shuckers. No good. Again, the Shuckers are kind of in a position where 3-pointers, I mean, they shoot a lot of 3-pointers anyway, but they're kind of in a position where they need to make them, As Rico Spikes alley-oops to Dylan Ware for the easy 2. Instigators extend their lead back to 21. Already at 100 points here, just under a minute to go, or under a minute into the fourth quarter. As we see Gambles do what he does best, which apparently has been in this game to score the basketball. He has had one heck of a game. Dylan catches the ball. He fights through some contact and puts it in for the and one, and he'll head to the line. Dylan hasn't played a ton of minutes tonight, but the minutes he's played have been really impressive. Didn't play at all in the third quarter, had 6 points in the first half, but already has scored more than that here in the second half. Ooh, almost blocked there. Definitely affected the shot. Caleb got up. As I said, that guy has some hops, and if you're not ready for it, he'll catch you out on a block. Rico fires it just a little too high. I was just talking about Caleb's hops, but he can't get up that high. As Rico comes out and Chuck takes his place. See Rico doing push-ups over there on the sideline. Still more pressure by the Instigators. That ball goes out of bounds and causes a turnover. Chuck's ready to go fast. He does. He hits Dylan for the dunk. The Instigators tack on to their lead, making it a 24-point lead. Again, we see the trap there in the corner. And that's a hack by Chuck. Boom. Chuck looks surprised by the foul, but he did get all arm there. I'm not going to lie. I love my Instigators, Jake, but it was pretty obvious. Campbell hits the first free throw there. He hit all of his free throws in the third quarter. He's hit his first one here. So a really good free throw shooter. Hits that one too. Going 4 for 4. Caleb and JoJo working that backcourt. Robert Mitchell. Chuck Bloom. Chuck to Dylan, who finds Robert underneath. Robert with plenty of pump fakes. Unfortunately, doesn't get it to go in, and that's a breakaway for the Shuckers, who throw the ball away. Dylan was about to block that one for sure. Chuck looking for an option there. Shot off the glass by JoJo Hart, and that goes in. JoJo gets the lead back up to 24, which is kind of where we've been hovering for the last few minutes now. JoJo gets the steal. I believe this is a 3D. Caleb can't handle the pass, however. The Shuckers get the ball back. That goes in. One thing I definitely like to see out of the Instigators going forward is making sure we get better shots in these 3D opportunities. Missed a number of them. We've capitalized on a number of them as well. Caleb makes that shot. Steal by Robert. He gets the bucket. That's a 3D rule. And this will be another 3D rule stolen by Caleb. Dylan thought about shooting the three. He doesn't. He passes it to JoJo, who will. JoJo misses the shot. That was a good shot. But unfortunately, it doesn't go, as the Instigators' defense is just swarming now. Although they get called for the foul. Really good job by the Instigators, though, to really step up the defensive pressure in the second half. And I believe that's been the difference here in this lead extending. Lots of turnovers, lots of 3D opportunities, something that the Shuckers, who are new to the ABA, are going to have to get used to for sure. And I think this will be a great learning experience for their squad. I'm going to pause and play here. Looks like there was a late substitution. There it is. Still lots of pressure, even though the Instigators are up by a large score here. Number 21, ball's tipped. Ball's tipped again. Shuckers get it back. Everyone leaves the man with the ball. He shoots the three, though, and it doesn't go in. Caleb misses it, bounces off a Shuckers player, however, though, and the Instigators have the ball. With 8 minutes to go here in the fourth quarter. There's your Hart open. He'll shoot the three. And why not? That goes in. JoJo Hart, deadly from behind the three-point arc, especially in the catch-and-shoot opportunity like that one there. And there's a three-pointer by the Shuckers. Shuckers not giving up. They're fighting all the way through in this game. Coming out on top is unlikely, but they're not a team that gives up. They work hard to play together the entire 48 minutes. A little confusion on whose ball it is as we see Steve Rogers come back in the game. He'll take over for Caleb Magruder. Pass to Robert Mitchell. He shotguns one to Chuck. Chuck can't quite hold on to it. And Instigators turn the ball over here. Ball quickly inbounded by the Shuckers. Another trap here. Two really long players. Oh. It's hard to see through Steve Rogers and Dylan Ware. I'm not going to lie. Those two guys are about as long as they come. Inbound to Dylan Ware, who hits the dunk. That shot's missed there, and the Instigators bring it back. Robert Mitchell trying to get a bucket. Doesn't quite fall for him. Steve Rogers with the rebound here. We're getting a little sprint up and down the court here as both teams keep pushing the ball. We saw this a lot in the Summer League when the score got out of hand. Shot by JoJo Hart. Missed. Shuckers will get the rebound. Steve Rogers with the foul there. Good foul. That bucket was going in. As Dez will go to the free throw line. Two free throws coming up here. First one goes in. Cuts the lead to 28. As Kevin Stunnaboy Cameron steps in for his first action of the game. Good to see Kevin out on the court. we saw a couple times. He brought the energy during the summer league and was really able to help the team, particularly on the defensive end, but could get hot on the offensive end as well. We see a turnover there by the Instigators. Shuckers get the ball. Kevin Cameron looks like he'll take on Dez, number 15. JoJo Hart tries to defend it there, but that goes in. We're back down to a 22-point game. JoJo Hart with the three-pointer. He drills it. Once again, catch and shoot JoJo Hart. Hard to stop. It's out of bounds. Good defense by Kevin. The ball will stay with the Shuckers. JoJo Hart checks out. Malcolm Martin back in. Number 32 with a shot. He hits that one. That's his second shot in someone's face in the fourth quarter. So he's starting to catch fire here for the Shuckers. Dylan Hart misses. Steve Rogers tries to bat it back, but the Shuckers get it. 3-point shot here by the Shuckers. That doesn't go. Martin with the rebound. Instigators are off on a fast break. Oh, smart move by Chuck Bloom to bounce it off his opponent as he's running out of bounds. I think that's going to stick with the Instigators. And it is. He throws it up for Dylan. Doesn't quite get it to slam, but what a thought. Kevin Cameron with the three. That's off. Shuckers get the rebound here. Down 24. They cut the lead back to 22 here with 4:40 to go. So Instigators pretty close to that 127 mark that they averaged last year. At 121 here with about 4 minutes to go. We'll see if they make it as Steve Rogers loses the handle there. And Shuckers go the other way. Gambles looks for a spin move. Stolen instead by Kevin, but then stolen back. And a 3D 4-point shot there by Stevens. And we get a timeout here. Looks like our last media timeout of the day. So we'll be back right after this with the finish of Instigators basketball.
Hey fans, it's Frosty.
Hey fans, it's
Frosty,
co-owner
of the Hoosier State Instigators.
Hope you're enjoying the broadcast.
Hope you're enjoying the broadcast. Take just a few seconds to let you know about our fan voters here on our Patreon. There you can find all kinds of behind the scenes footage of practices and tryouts, early access to games and podcasts, and much more. On top of that, you become an official fan voter of Instigators, where you can make key decisions in running the franchise. Things such as what uniforms do we wear, who stays, who goes at the end of the season, evaluate the players and coaches, and make decisions that will impact this franchise for a long time. So this is your chance to get off the bleachers and into the boardroom, the Hoosier State Instigators, at www.patreon.com/Apex Athletic Collective. Hope to see you there.
Awesome. So we got one of our fans here taking some shots, waiting for this game to finish off. 121 to 103, Jake. What have you seen that you like?
I like in this fourth quarter, even though we've had the big lead, that we've continued to press and play some really good defense down the line.
Yeah, absolutely. We see the Instigators moving the ball around. Dylan slashing to the basket. Chuck Bloom finds him. Until those two played together last year, that was great chemistry, and they get the easy bucket. I gotta tell you, Dylan didn't play a ton of minutes in the first three quarters. He played quite a bit here in the fourth quarter. Man, he looked good. I think they call a foul there on Captain America. They do. Shuckers take the ball out of bounds. Shuckers think about three-pointer instead. Outlet pass. Shot there. Tough shot. Almost goes in. It doesn't, though. He gets his rebound and gets the and one. Tough rebounding and way to stay with it. Number one gamble as he earns a shot to make this a 3-point play. And he does. Bringing the score back within 17. Dylan Ware with the 3-pointer. Didn't see a whole lot of that last year, but like we said, he's been working on his jump shot, and that one goes in. So great shot by Dylan. 3D rule here. Chuck gets tripped up. Dylan gets it and goes to Steve. That's a 3-point play. Instigators have created a ton of 3D plays here in this quarter. Looks like we got a floor issue again. Health and safety of our players first and foremost. The AI camera not getting distracted away from the ball. It's good to see, but they're cleaning up the backcourt there. I think I saw a towel. The Shuckers look to bring the ball up. Tough shot there. No good. And LB back in the game makes the rebound. Martin with the pass to Dylan Ware, and he puts it in for an easy 2. Still, the Instigators pressed. Up 25 points here. With 2 minutes to go. You know, there's a lot to be said for working on what you need to work on regardless of the score. As LB gets the block. And he looks to push the ball up the court, and he does. He finds Malcolm Martin open for 3. No good as the Shuckers get the ball. In preseason games, they often say it's not the score that matters, it's how you feel about what you're doing. So obviously Coach Dobbs is putting an emphasis on defense. Again, this is a team that scored over 130 points on us last year. I think 138 points last year, and held them to 106 here with about 2 minutes to go. Malcolm Martin gets one in over the contact, and that extends his great night. He looks to be feeling that one a little bit. He shakes it off. 3-pointer by the Shuckers. And we get a timeout with 1:18 to go. The Instigators look to wrap this one up. Looks like we're going to get some substitutes in for the remainder of this game. So we will return right after this. All right, minute to go. Looks like we got a timeout here by the Shuckers. My guess is we're going to see some substitutions with some guys to get some minutes that didn't get a ton of minutes. What do you think, Jake?
Yeah, I think so. You know, final minute of the game, maybe test out a couple new things real quick.
Dylan Ware on the 3D. He hits it. That's a 4-point shot for Dylan Ware. If Dylan Ware adding 3-pointers is really dangerous for every other team playing the Instigators. That ball goes out of bounds still with the Shuckers. Quick inbound. You take the shot. It doesn't go in. Kevin Cameron with the rebound, though. And then we get a dunk by Steve Rogers. And we get the steal there by the Instigators. We saw Chuck Bloom and then he hits Dylan Ware with the alley-oop. The Instigators now have 141 points. Up, what is that? 32 points here in the waning moments of this one. They make it a 30-point game. Kevin Cameron bringing the ball up. Step back three. No good, but Steve Rogers with the rebound. He's looking for someone. LB Feld. But Kevin gets it. He just can't quite finish there at the hoop. Steal there. 4-point shot. Here it is. Dylan Ware, as the game clock ends, puts the Instigators up 145 to 111. And that's your total. We'll be back with a post-game debrief right after this. Well, there you have it. 145-111. The Instigators win their first preseason game and get revenge on a team that beat them last year pretty handily. What'd you make of the game?
Yeah, I mean that sets the series is all tied up, but a really nice effort from all of our guys. Real nice rotation, and especially on the defensive end in that second half, a lot of traps, a lot of 3D opportunities, and I think that is something we'll have to continue upon going into the season.
Yeah.
A couple of guys, that had some real nice performances. Malcolm, first time we've seen him here on the broadcast, and he did really well. And then in that fourth quarter, Dylan really took over, and especially with the 3-point shooting, that's something new for us to see.
Yeah, he went 3 for 4 from behind the line in that fourth quarter. That's crazy. I have the stats here. Tell me, who are the top 3 scorers of the game? Take a guess for the Instigators.
I would say Malcolm's probably up there. I'd have probably Dylan as well. Then maybe LB for the third.
You nailed it. Dylan, 32 points. LB was second with 23, and Malcolm was third with 19. And then Jackson with 18, and Jackson didn't play in the second half. But we saw all kinds of guys scoring. I think JoJo had 15. All kinds of guys scoring, making it work for each other. Just a really impressive win for the Instigators. And now, obviously, we'll go back to practices. We may have one more preseason game coming up on October 19th. We're waiting to see. That was originally going to be our season opener, but it had to be moved to later in the year. So we may have another one then, but we definitely have a tryout on the October 15th. That Tuesday, I think, is the 15th. And then we will have our first home game October 26th against the Louisville Pros. So, Jake, any final words before we close this off?
It's nice to see the team, on the court again. That's our first time, I believe, we've had a game, whether it's preseason or not, at the Best Choice Fieldhouse. So it was nice to see that. Really looking forward to seeing that in the regular season.
Yeah, me too. I loved the setup of the court. Really good, thing to notice there, Jake. So I appreciate it. I was happy to see the Instigators. I'm excited for games to start. It feels like it's been forever since we saw the Instigators play an ABA game. And so I was excited to see them play against another ABA team. And now I'm excited for the 26th. So if you love what we're doing, 1, subscribe to our YouTube. But 2, if you want to see the footage first, if you want to see raw game footage, if you want to see practice footage, if you want to see behind the scenes content, if you want to get news first about the Instigators, if you want to help make decisions about this team, become a fan voter, go to our Patreon at www.patreon.com/Apex Athletic Collective. We need you there. We need you all to help us make these decisions. And we need to work to build this team together because that's what it's about. It's about community. So until next time, be great, instigate. We'll see you later.